What's up, gals? Welcome back to my channel. It's Whit here again with another video. So today I will be showing you guys all the palettes that I bought in 2020, okay? This is not my eyeshadow palette collection. That video will be coming out next month. I know I said I was gonna do it this month, but listen, it just kept getting pushed back. There's other videos that I really want to put out first, but I am going to be doing that video. So in my ranking my top 10 palettes of 2020, I asked you guys to comment down below how many palettes you thought that I bought this year. And let me just say, y'all really have a lot of faith in me. On average, everyone was guessing around 20 to 30. And unfortunately, I failed you guys. Your girl bought 74 palettes in this year alone, okay? This is not palettes that were sent to me by brands or given to me by my job. This was my card swiped and I bought it myself, okay? But I do want to say, I feel like the reason why I went ham is a lot of these palettes that you guys are going to see, some of them did not come out this year. For the past like 2 years, like all of 2019 and majority of 2018, I was not buying makeup like that. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you guys know that I lost a lot of weight in 2017. So I was heavily into buying clothes because I mean, if any of you guys have ever lost weight, you know that feeling of like, ooh, I can wear this, I can wear that. It's so exciting to buy new clothes. So that's what I was into. And I really wasn't into buying makeup like that. But I feel like because I took those 2 years off of buying as much, I made up for this year. And then also with this pandemic going on, I really just was just buying. Yeah, even though it's not normal to buy that much makeup, but still I went ahead and did it and I love it. Listen, don't be typing, okay, about what I spend money on, okay? You spend your money on what you want to spend your money on, and I'm gonna spend money on what I want to spend my money on, okay? And I like buying makeup. This makes me happy and I intend on using this. I'm not decluttering anything, okay? I don't even like declutter videos like that. I don't like declutter videos where people are decluttering because they haven't used the palette in a year, like, ah, I'm not into this color anymore. Okay, well in a year you might be. Or people who declutter because they want to make room for more stuff. I'm like, how, make it make sense. You're throwing away something that you paid for because you want to make room for something else that you're gonna buy the same type of colors again. So no, I'm not decluttering anything, okay? I love all my palettes. I spent my money on it and I'm going to keep it for years and years and years and years and years and years to come. And when I finally do feel like it's time for it to go, I will get rid of it. So no one asked me to do, listen, I'm not going to listen to you, okay? I'm not getting rid of anything. Yes, I think I've rambled enough. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow your girl on Instagram, okay? And let's get into this video. I'm gonna show you guys all the palettes that I got. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So first palette I have here is the Tammy X Revolution palette, and it looks like this. Super colorful, pretty bright. It has some really pretty like shimmers here and the mattes. I have used this palette a couple of times to just, you know, do some looks on my own time, and I love the quality of it. I love the way it came out. Next palette I have is another Revolution palette. This is their blush palette. I have created one look with this palette, but I haven't really got around to using it too much just because obviously I buy so much. But yeah, it's like a nice neutral palette with like that pop of blue, some pressed glitters in here. Super pretty palette. Next, I have the Passion palette, which is super pretty as well too. It's more like your purple pink palette. You guys know I love me a nice purple pink moment. You get you get 3 pressed glitters in here, some neutral shades and a nice little pink shade right there. Super pretty palette. Next, I have another palette yet again from Makeup Revolution or the Revolution Pro. This is a 24K gold palette. Literally like its name says, neutral. You get some nice like, you know, deeper shades here. You do get pressed glitters. You do get an eye primer in here. I feel like I used this. I can't remember, but I know I've played around with this palette. Next, we have the Beetlejuice, the recently deceased palette. Yeah, this is this one. And it's like just a nice green purple moment. Okay, I love rancid greens like this. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette if you wanted to see a look created with this. Next, we have the Waiting Room palette, which is a nice gray, burgundy, black, silver type of moment here. Super pretty. Yet again, I do have a tutorial using this palette on my channel if you want to check that out. But yeah. All right, next we have the Beauty Glaze Color Board palette. So I bought this palette and it does have 60 shades in here. So it's like a little flip over type thing. You know, you get all of these up in here, okay? Pressed glitters, purples, different ones. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this. Funny story, when I posted this video, it performed so terribly. I was so bummed and hurt. And then out of nowhere, the traction has picked up. That video sent at over 20K, and I've heard that Beauty Glaze has come forward and said that their stuff is good to go, because I kind of stopped using this. I actually haven't used this since I filmed that video because they said they had asbestos in it, but it's been proven. I think Beauty Glaze has confirmed that we're good to go, so I might whip this back out, but yeah. Okay, next we have all my Pat McGrath. So I'm just gonna go through these pretty quickly because I do have entire dedicated ranking videos to this these palettes. So this is the Mothership 1. We have the Mothership 2. We have Mothership 3 right here, super pretty. We have Mothership 4, which is Decadence. And this is just all of her regular metallic shades. None of her special shades are in this palette. We have Mothership 5, one of my personal favorites. I absolutely love this palette, and I highly recommend this like as a palette to start off with if you want to jump into Pat McGrath. Absolutely love it. These metallic shades are super, super, super pretty. Like this shade right here. Oh my gosh, I love this palette. Another favorite of mine, the Pat McGrath Mothership 6. We have Mothership 7, which is a very beautiful, like just everyday neutral kind of palette right here. Absolutely love this palette. And the last of her Mothership palettes, the Mothership 8. This is such a pretty palette. This this multi-chrome right here, super pretty. I'm excited to see what the Mothership 9 is gonna look like. I'm excited to see what Pat McGrath's gonna be doing next year because I absolutely love her formula. I love her palettes. And if she's giving us multi-chromes like this, I'm praying that whatever palette she comes out with next is something more colorful than what she's already given us in the past, and more multi-chromes, because she has a superb formula in my opinion. I feel like her palettes are definitely overpriced. But I'm so glad that I finally tried Pat McGrath's formula out this year. Absolutely love it. One of my favorites, and I would highly recommend. But listen, buy it when it's on sale, okay? Because I'm sorry, I have never paid full price for a Pat McGrath palette, and I can't even confidently tell you to pay that because it's insane. $125 for one palette? Absolutely not. Nope. And lastly, this is the Celestial Divinity. This was her holiday palette. And yet again, this palette has none of her special shades, just all of her regular metallics and 3 mattes. This was the most reasonably priced palette that she has put out. This one was $78, unlike her other palettes that are priced at $125. So yeah, there's this one. And I love this purple. I wore it. I did a look with it. Hold on, let me see if I can like swatch this well. Look how pretty that is. All right, more palettes. I picked up this Artistry palette by Glam. I tested out their makeup and it wasn't bad. It had a horrible smell to it. I do have a tutorial using this on my channel. Yeah, it wasn't bad. The only thing I would say is that I would have liked for this to have deeper shades in it. But other than that, it's a pretty decent palette. Another Glam palette. This is a dupe for the Metropolis palette by Natasha Denona. And no, I did not forget. I am going to do the comparison between this one and the Alter Ego palette. It was a lot of other videos that I wanted to get out this month, but yes, I will be doing a comparison on both of those palettes. But yeah, this is this one right here, and I feel like it's pretty close to duping the Natasha palette. Next, I have the Patricia Bright X Revolution palette. This is the Rich in Color. I bought this and I have not used it yet. I literally just got it like sometime in November. It was on sale for half off, and then I also used one of Ulta's coupons, so I only paid about $12 when this palette is originally $30. So that wasn't too bad. But yes, I have not had a chance to like actually play with this just because I've gotten so much stuff that I just haven't gotten around to it. But can't wait to like I swatched some of them, and like this pink right here is like intense. Like, can y'all see that? Look at how intense that pink is. Ooh, this camera quality is amazing. Y'all see how fast my hand is moving? Watch my video in 1080p 60, okay, if y'all want like real good HD quality. Next, we have my boo, Tammy Clark. Okay, I love her. I just discovered her this year upon this collaboration that she did with Makeup Revolution, and I love her content. Oh my goodness, like, baby girl is talented, okay? So yes, I picked up her palette and I absolutely love it. Intense, okay, this whole row, intense pigments. Like, she snapped on the girls, and thank you, okay? Love this collaboration palette that she did with Makeup Revolution. Next, let me zoom out a little bit because this is a bigger palette and it's not fitting in the screen. Okay, here we go. Next, we have the Carnival 3 palette. Look at this. This is my baby. Like I told you guys, this is by far my favorite palette this year. And I love it. Like, I love a nice rainbow, colorful palette. And I feel like this by far is the best rainbow palette that came out this year. So absolutely love it. Super intense, pigmented, can't rave enough about it. I do have a tutorial using this on my channel. If you want to check this out, I do got it, okay? And then we have the Sample Beauty. This is the Bet Painters palette. I kind of feel bad for this palette because it got lost in the sauce. This came out around the same time as the Carnival 3 palette. And obviously that palette did numbers. Like it was, the hype to get that palette was ridiculous. So I feel like this palette got lost in the sauce, but it's a really amazing, colorful palette. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this. A lot of this stuff, I have a tutorial, just gotta like search on my channel, but I got it, okay? And yeah, these colors are intense. Like this shade right here, so pretty. Love it. Mo palettes. So I picked up the Norvina Volume 4 palette. Super gorgeous, pretty pink palette. Absolutely love it. Stunning. Not really much to say about it other than it's pretty. All right, next we have the Made by Mitchell. This is his Head in the Clouds palette. And I absolutely love this palette. Yet again, I do have a tutorial on my channel using this. Oh, and I also have a tutorial on my channel using the Norvina Volume 4 palette as well too. Yeah, super gorgeous, pretty palette. Like, look at these like, oh my gosh. Look at this. Look at this. Super pretty. Next, we have the Head in the Clouds palette. Sorry, no, this is the Feet on the Ground palette. And it's like your nice camo green palette right here. And yet again, oh, hold on, wait. Does I need to zoom out a little bit for y'all? Okay, hold on. I think everything's in frame now. Yeah, okay, cool. Do have a tutorial on my channel using this. Tutorial on my channel. Yes, okay. I kept saying it so much that it starts to sound weird. Okay, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, this is this palette. Next, we have some Glam Light palettes. I recently got into Glam Light this year. I avoided them because I just think their packaging is so ugly. I'm sorry. I don't like the packaging on a lot of their stuff, but the formulas and the colors in there, it's pretty, but the packaging just throws me off. But this one was normal. So this is the Ice Cream Dream palette. Yet again, I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette. Super gorgeous, really pretty. Their shimmer formula is beautiful, minus this one. I don't know what went wrong with this shade right here, but everything else is good to go. And these mattes are super amazing. I love. And I love that the fact that the sprinkles, like, they shake. Next, we have the Glam Light. This is their Paint Pro palette. This was the only palette of theirs that I got, for the most part, that is oddly shaped, but I didn't mind because it wasn't food. It was like a, it's like a little painter. So I was like, this is cute. This is such a pretty palette. Like, yet again, Glam Light has a really good formula, but I will say it's hard for people to want to, buy it just because of the packaging. But if you can get past that, I'm telling you, like, they have a good formula. These mattes are amazing. These shimmers are gorgeous. Like, I love their formula. And lastly, we have the Glam Light Cake palette. And I purposely keep mine in the box because the dimensions are normal, okay? So this is what the actual palette looks like. And you can pull this out, but it's kind of okay. It's not fully like, square, but I still rather keep it in packaging. I have not actually had a chance to play with this palette. I've just swatched it. I bought this when they were having like a 30% off, so I was like, why not? And I just haven't had a chance to actually use it, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna love it. Everyone always raves about how good this palette is, so yeah. All right, next we have all Juvia's Place palettes right here. Let's go ahead and jump into this. So these are all the palettes that they came out with this year. I bought every single palette they came out with. As you guys know, I am a Juvia's Place collector. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit more. Okay, so first we have the Disco Party. This is Fumi's collab palette. This is her second one with Juvia's Place. Every single palette that Juvia's Place came out this year, I do have a tutorial on my channel, so I don't want to keep repeating myself, but yes, I have a tutorial or some sort of video showing these palettes off, okay? So this is that one. We have the Melissa palette. We have the La Mariposa palette. This is Yami Angelina's collab palette. We have the Nubian Royal. This is part of their holiday collection. We have the Nubian Glow. We have the Nudes. We have the Taupes. We have the Chocolates. We have the Mauves. We have the Violets. We have the Berries. We have the Sweet Pinks. Whew. That was a lot of that, okay? Then we have the original Wahala palette, which looks like this. Y'all see that? Just let me angle it. Yep, there we go. And then we have my personal favorite, the Wahala 2. In my opinion, this was the best palette they came out with this year. I mean, all of them are good, but this was my favorite color story. Moving on to Playing the Makeup by Yolanda. I picked up a couple other things. I talk about this all the time. Let me zoom you guys out because it's not getting everything in frame. There we go. All right, so let's move this out the way. We have the Artistry Vault, which is out of the 4 that I got. This is my favorite of them all. I absolutely love this palette. I would highly recommend it. This formula is amazing. This color story is beautiful. I love the split and split. And okay, it's gonna show up on my Chocolate Girls, okay? Pigment is here, okay? Then we have another collab palette. That was a collab palette with Melissa, Beauty by Melissa. Amazing, talented makeup artist, by the way. This is the Beat Down palette. This is Beats by Debs collab palette. And it is your full-on rainbow palette right here. If you follow Beats by Debs, you know she's a colorful gal. So this palette is definitely screaming her personality. And she did a phenomenal job. Love, love, love this palette. And I love the Dragon Ball Z like references. Because if you guys don't know, I love Dragon Ball Z. So like I love the Cell, the Frieza, like... so pretty, like the Gogeta, like I love it. And yeah, then we have, this is the Jamrock. I believe this is the Universal, right? Hold on, wait, where's the name at? It should be here. Oh, y'all, what is this right here? I'm here looking, flipping on the back, and it's right here in my face. This is the Jamrock Universal palette, and it looks like this. So yeah, it feels very islandy, like, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I'm at Carnival when I look at these, and I've never been to Carnival, but like that is, I mean, hopefully I can go at some point in life. I don't know how next year is looking with, you know, this whole pandemic, but I would love to go for Carnival. But yeah, this just screams, ah, like I just want to do that when I look at this. And then this is my most recent purchase from them. This is the Jamrock No Limitations palette. It's very jewel toned in a sense. This shade right here, insane. Like, look at this. Look at that. Oh my goodness. I actually created a look. Actually, my collab video that I did with Amy, I was wearing this palette and I had that gold on my eyes. So yeah, I love this. All right, so next I have the Melt Cosmetics. This is the Gemini palette. This is the very first Melt palette that I bought, and I absolutely love it. I've been eyeing this palette for a while, and I finally just gave in and bought it. I love Melt's formula. Like, this formula is amazing, pigmented. I love these type of like mossy green shades. So yeah, super pretty palette. Next, I have the Berry Royal palette. This is by Clarity Cosmetics, and it looks like this. Next, we have the Christmas Morning palette. This is by Gimme Glow. Just look at this. Oh my gosh. And apparently this palette is going to be restocking in 2 weeks. I just looked on their Instagram. So if you want this palette, it's going to be restocking in about 2 weeks. Then we have the Vivid Rose. So yes, I will be doing a comparison video, like a dedicated video to this and the, oh my gosh, like, can it stop? Like, that's only about like this Clarity brand is, their shadows are so softly pressed. It's so freaking annoying. And look how my palette is getting all over the place. I haven't even used it yet. But anyways, so I will be doing a dedicated video comparing both of these palettes. It will be up on my channel literally right after this video. Like, I'm going to finish recording using this palette tomorrow, and then I'll edit it and it should be up. So yeah, I'll give you guys swatches and everything on that palette. But anyways, this is the Gimme Glow palette. This is their Vivid Rose. I just need the Vintage Rose to come back in stock, and then my collection will feel complete because I'm so mad that I passed on it. Ugh. Next, we have the Certify Affinity 2 palette, which is like their nice green palette. Bought this during Black Friday. Apparently, they're still having a sale going on with this, but I think it's a pre-order, so you probably won't get into like next year, March or April. But I don't know, I could be wrong. Just if you want to go look on the website, but yeah. All right, next we have the Affinity palette, which looks like this, or you can face it this way. Super pretty palette, beautiful sunset. All right, your girl picked up the BH Sweet Shop. Look, y'all, look. Okay, I didn't know this, and I kind of want all of them just so I can do this, but look. If you stack them, it makes an ice cream. Like, let me see if I can turn it this way. So I am missing the Orange Sorbet, which will go here. That's the other palette of theirs. And then the Snow Cone, or the Neutral palette, whatever that one's called. But yeah, I almost want to buy them just so I can do that, but that's stupid, right? Yeah, of course it is. Anyways. Anyways, I literally just got these the day after Christmas because I ordered it and it did not come in on time. But I have not even had a chance to actually, like, you know, play with these. But I've swatched them and they're pretty good, but I have not like actually like put them on my eyes. Next, we have the Cotton Candy palette, which looks like this. Have the Bubblegum palette. And we have the pistachio palette. I'm gonna be very honest, I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the other two palettes. I'm trying not to because I just feel like that's just buying just because you want to complete a collection. And it's one thing if I knew I was going to actually use that, but I know those two palettes in general are not my vibe. Like, they're just way too light. So pray for me, y'all, because I'm really trying not to. I'm trying to get out of that completionist habit because it's really bad when you think about it. Like, you're buying stuff just to complete a collection. That's absolutely terrible to do. So I'm trying to get out of that habit. Next, we have some palettes from Midas. This is the Smoky Glow palette. This is Hannah's palette in collaboration with Midas. I love her channel. If you are looking for like a good commentary channel, like, I love the way she just does her videos. Like her, Amanda, As Told by Kenya, it's Keisha. I like them. Like, they're my vibe. Like, I love their bluntness. Like, yeah. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice little commentary channel, check her out. And her palette from Midas also is a pretty darn good palette. I have not actually used it yet, but it swatches amazingly and I can't wait to play with it. Next, I have the Flower Bomb palette, which looks like this. I can't wait to whip this out during springtime. Ooh, baby, I'm be cute. Next, I got the Trendy in Tokyo palette. Listen, y'all, BH, everyone has been talking about how BH has stepped up their game. Now, I haven't tried the Sweep Shop palettes, but this palette alone, oh my gosh, like, this quality is pretty darn good. Like, I love this palette. Like, I feel like it's good for its price range and it's pretty good. So, sorry. It just fell out of my hands. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice rainbow colorful palette for, you know, an inexpensive price without it being too overwhelming. Like, I know I love my Carnival 3, but that palette is pretty big. And I know not everybody likes a really big palette like that. So if you want something smaller, I would check this one out. Next, I got my hands on the Color to Rain Safari Rain palette. This palette is officially done and gone. And I was able to get my hands on the last restock of it. I'm so happy. I love Color to Rain's original formula, okay? Whatever they went and did now, I ain't rocking with that, okay? I think they went vegan and that's what changed their formula and I'm not feeling it. But this right here, this is what I know Color to Rain to be like. I like this formula and yeah, this color story is gorgeous. I love shades like this. So I'm so happy that I got my hands on this palette. Speaking of Color to Rain's formula that I don't like, this is the Juicy Boost palette. And I do have a tutorial on my channel using this. And I feel like I overall gave it like a pretty decent review, you know. But when I'm really thinking about this palette and I've played again with it after that, I feel like there is definitely a difference between this and like the Queen of Hearts, what really put them on the map. This palette doesn't blend as easily and smoothly. Like, it blended. I just had to take my time and blend for a really long time, which I don't like to do. I just feel like if I'm doing that, I don't know if your shadows are that great. Also, this pink, as gorgeous as it looks right here in the pan, it is so horrible. Like, look at how flaky and discombobulated that is. Like look at that. No, I do not like that at all. So yeah, Color to Rain, please. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing that they went vegan, but gosh, like, you know, when you have a good thing going, it's just like, dang, like that formula was amazing. And another palette of theirs that I bought this year that I don't like either is the Vivid Pigments palette. Oh my goodness. I bought this palette and I'm so mad because this is a $50 palette and I don't like it. But you know what? I'm going to give it one more chance and I'm going to use it differently. Instead of me going in with the shades and packing it on like I would do like a regular pressed pigments palette, I'm just going to take it and like start blending and hopefully that looks better because I refuse to believe that I waste my money on a palette that I'm not going to use. No, I'm going to use this. We're going to find a way to make this work. Because look how vibrant the colors are. Like, look at that yellow. Look at this red. Like, all right, moving on to some more rainbow palettes. This brand I love. This is September Rose Slush 2 palette. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Formula amazing. Like, I absolutely adore their formula and their shadows. Super, super pretty. Then we have the September Rose. This is the Slush palette. Yet again, amazing formula. Now, the difference between these two, let me hold them up so y'all can see, because I was torn between the two, and I was like, which one should I buy? And I was like, you know what? I can't make my mind up, so I'm going to buy both. That's crazy. But anyways, this one's an all matte palette. This one, you get some shimmers in here. And as you guys can see, the greens in this palette and the yellow are more neon, while these are a little bit more muted. And then it switches, like the oranges in this palette are a lot more muted, while these are a little bit more vibrant. And then this palette also does not have like a nice bright red, while this one does. And then the pinks in here are a little bit more, you know, vibrant in this palette compared to this one. And the blues are definitely different, and the purples are definitely different for sure. So they're similar, but they're different. So It's not a bad thing to have both, but do you need both? No, you absolutely don't. You can still create nice, colorful looks with either or. But yeah, and then also, like I said, this palette does have shimmers. This one has no shimmers. Next, we have the Beauty Bay. This is the Book of Magic palette. And let me just say, Beauty Bay came for the girls. Just like BH Cosmetics came for the girls this year, Beauty Bay said, we gonna come for y'all too. Like, this is a phenomenal palette at a really amazing price point. Like, their shimmers are out of this world. Like, just look at this. Like, oh my gosh. I do have tutorial on my channel using this. Actually, the next two palettes are Beauty Bay, so I have a tutorial using all of those palettes just in case I don't have to repeat myself over and over. But yeah, love this palette. Then we have the Sunset Horizon, which looks like this. We have my girl Nikki. Okay, Nikki came for the girls. A lot of people didn't like her palette, but I like it. Okay, I love this palette. I feel like it performed amazing for me. I ain't had no issues, but you know, everyone is different. But yeah, the shimmers in here, because of her palette is why I went ahead and bought these two palettes when they released. So I was just like, I love Nikki's shimmer formula, or whoever, Beauty Bay, whoever, whatever. Their shimmers in here made me want more from them. So it was from this palette that I actually went ahead and bought the other two. So yeah, love Nikki's palette. And lastly, y'all, can y'all believe this palette came out this year? This is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. Y'all, this year has been so long. Yes, this palette came out this year. I bought this palette this year, and we're still in this freaking year of 2020. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get about this year. Yeah, I like this palette. I feel like the color story is beautiful. Like, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Jaclyn Hill, yes, she has some terrible launches, but she's good at picking color stories. It's just she don't really check everything before she releases stuff, but this one went over pretty well. I didn't have any issues with this. The only thing I would say I am disappointed in her about is that she didn't do any tutorials using her own palette. And I don't blame her because, you know, she does get a lot of, like, you know, backlash, you know, from just doing anything. So I'm pretty sure she just kind of like stayed away from it, but I really wish she would have done like some tutorials on her channel using it. I mean, I would have loved to see it because I feel like she's a talented artist. Like, she's really good at makeup, and she's very good at teaching. So I wish she would have done some looks using her own palette. But overall, I do love this palette and this color story. Yet again, this year has been really long. Like, I also got this palette this year, and it also came out. This is the Amrezy palette, which looks like this. All right, so I have the Artist Couture. This is their Supreme Nudes palette. Absolutely love this palette. It's super neutral, gorgeous, you know, just, there's not really much to say about this. I love this palette. Then I picked up the Norvina Volume 1. This is the mini of their volume palettes that are this. And I only got this because I already owned the other two. My job gave me both of them, but I didn't have this one. And, you know, I need to get out of that bad habit of completing collections. So I bought this one, but I only got it because it was on sale. And I was able to get my employee discount on top of this, on top of another discount. So I think I only paid like, I think either $7 or $2. I want to say I spent $2 on this. It was pretty cheap. And then we have the ColourPop Fade into Hue palette. This was the rainbow palette they came out this year on top of the plethora of palettes that came out this year. ColourPop is annoying. I'm sorry. They are really annoying. But I caved and I bought this palette. And I told you guys in the video, because I did a tutorial on this palette, I regretted buying this. And I'm really mad at myself that I spent the money on this palette and I passed up the Vintage Rose by Gimme Glow. Now I want that palette so much more. And this one, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I already have these colors, but that color story I didn't have. But like an idiot, I bought this and I don't know why. Then I got the Oba Beauty. This is the I Am palette. This is an indie brand that I kind of like just stumbled upon on Instagram. I do have a tutorial on my channel using this palette. Super pretty, gorgeous, colorful palette. And this is not a part of like the palettes, but you know what? I bought it during Black Friday. This is the, what is people called? JD Glow. This is their multi-chromes and they shift differently. And I don't know if the camera will finally pick up on the different shifts of this palette or these shadows, but yeah. This is not a part of like the 73, but I did pick this up. And then lastly, this also is not part of it. This is, so Clionadh did their December sale and I picked up like 20 of their multi-chromes. So this is my empty palette and my shadows will be going in. I already have it ready. I got the standard order, so mine should be shipping out like around January 4th. So yes, this is where my Clionadh will be going. So yeah, that is that with that. All right, guys, so that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I absolutely had so much fun this year, and it was nice to get back into buying makeup again. I feel like I definitely went on like a break, and it was fun, and I enjoy doing this. I do have a lot of stuff because, one, I just like buying makeup. Also, doing YouTube videos, it's part of like what I kind of do. Like, I am more of a beauty channel, so you kind of have to keep up with the trends and stick with what's new and hot if you actually want your videos to push through the algorithm. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below, what should you guys comment down below today? You know what? Comment down below your #1 palette of 2020. And it doesn't have to be a palette that came out in this year, but what is your all-time favorite palette that you were loving this year? Who is calling me? Oh, my brother is. Okay, it's time for me to wrap this up. But yeah, until next time, I'll talk to you beauties later. Bye.